So, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are, I am back again. We're going to talk about the Copa del Rey final, the finale, tonight, 10 p.m. Spanish time. Seriously looking forward to this. Carlo Ancelotti's job is hanging by a thread, and I mean a thread. 5 trophies last season, Champions League semi this season, Copa del Rey final this season. None of this, look at what he's done for the club rubbish. None of this sentiment at Real Madrid. If he loses tonight to Osasuna, he's probably going to get sacked. Let's be real. Even before they play Manchester City. But there we go. We are going to get into the nitty gritty of that. Make sure you are smashing the like button. I do appreciate it. Big up to everybody who's subbed as well, man. The subs are flying. Nearly 10.2k. Flying. Thank you very much to everybody who has subscribed. Like I said, stick a like on the video. Share the content around as well. That does help. Thank you. I appreciate it. But let's get into the nitty gritty of this game tonight. Obviously, on Tuesday, they play Real Madrid play Manchester City. But tonight, they've got Osasuna. Now, Osasuna, if anybody doesn't know, are not very good. They're not great. And if you actually have a look at the La Liga table, you will find, excuse me, that Osasuna are currently 10th. Having lost more games this season than they've won. They have lost 13, won 12, drawn 8. They've actually conceded more than they've scored. They've scored a total of 29 goals all season, which is less than a goal a game. Unbelievable, Jeff. When you look at Real Madrid, the Madristas are fuming. They're up in arms. They're very angry with Don Carlo Ancelotti because he is currently 3rd in La Liga, having lost 2 of his last 3 games. Now, the last game that they lost the other night to Real Sociedad, they had a player sent off, Dani Carvajal, 2 yellow cards. They only managed 5 shots on target the whole game, didn't score a goal. Rested a whole host of players as well for this game tonight. No Benzema, Vinny Jr. weren't playing. And it's not great. It's not a great look for Madrid. They had Tchouaméni in midfield. Dani Ceballos was in midfield, so no Modric. Obviously, probably the most adored footballer. I've never seen anybody hate on Luka Modric. I mean, maybe Barcelona fans might, but I think everyone can appreciate that Luka Modric is a top footballer. But yeah, it's not looking good for Real Madrid this season. They're miles away from Barcelona in the title race. They're currently 13 points off of Barcelona. They've lost 7 games this season. I mean, Atletico Madrid are above them. They've only lost 6, and they've played the same amount of games now as well. And Atletico, 1 point clear of Real Madrid. Real Sociedad are breathing down their next 7 points behind with 5 to play. So, listen, this Copa del Rey is a big game for Ancelotti and Madrid tonight. And we do know that Real Madrid, the history of Real Madrid, they do turn up in the big games. They're Champions League finals, Champions League full stop. Doesn't matter what part of the Champions League it is, they turn up and they deliver. Hence why they are the kings of Europe all the time. But it's been a weird season for Ancelotti and a weird season for Real Madrid because it's almost like, the Barcelona team, with all due respect, is pretty rubbish, man. Like, I look at that Barcelona team. Yeah, they got Lewandowski. Yeah, they got Pedri. Gavi's overrated. They've got some decent players. Orejo, good player, very good player. But I just look at that Barca team, and it ain't the Barca of old. And when you look at that Madrid team, you still got the Cruz, the Modric, the Benzemas, the Carvajals. Got Rudiger in there, Militao, Courtois, Vinny Jr., Rodrigo. That's a good team. Nacho at left back. Tchouaméni can come in. Camavinga. On paper, now I know the game ain't played on paper, but on paper, that is a top draw squad. It is a really, really good squad. I mean, Eden Hazard sits on the bench every week. I mean, it's mad. It is actually crazy. But I just look at it and I think it's been really weird watching Madrid. And I've watched pretty much all of their games this season. Yeah, I'm not saying I'm a Real Madrid fan or anything like that because I'm not. I just like watching Real Madrid. Yeah, and I like watching Atletico Madrid as well, to be fair. Barcelona, not so much. But if it's on and it's the only La Liga game that's on and there's nothing else on, I'll be sitting and watching it because I like watching decent football. Barca have not been that great. And they're walking away with a title. Conceding 11 goals this season is the reason why. Yeah, 2 of them were in the last game, by the way. So they've played, 32 games and only conceded 9 before that last game. But when I look at Madrid, it's like, what is going on with them? Have they lost hope? Are they getting old? Is it a bit of Ancelotti's just like, well, it's my last season. He keeps talking up in press conferences that he wants to stay. The Brazilian FA came out the other day and said, look, we're not going to make no secrets about this. We want Ancelotti as the Brazil manager. Like, I'd take him at Arsenal in a heartbeat. What a manager. That guy, I beg he comes to Arsenal. I beg he comes to Arsenal. That guy is a top draw manager. But this is the difference between Spanish La Liga and English Premier League. There is no sentiment in La Liga. Doesn't matter what you've done for the club. Doesn't matter what you did last year. Doesn't matter what you did last game. So what are you doing for me now? Yeah, and unfortunately for Carlo Ancelotti, not a lot. If they win tonight, that might brush a little bit of it under the carpet. But ultimately, yeah, you live and die by your decisions as a football manager, and you live and die by your league position if you're at Real Madrid as well. Because if you allow Barcelona to walk off with a title just that easily, you probably ain't keeping your job, despite whether you win the Copa del Rey, despite whether you even win the Champions League. The fact that you're third in the table behind Barca and Atleti, sackable offence at Madrid. Yeah, and I do think he'll be gone. Yeah, and if he loses tonight, he might not even make it to Tuesday. Yeah, I've seen a lot of the Madristas online absolutely fuming about this season. Yeah, and that is the standards I want for my club. The standards should be up here. Yeah, it doesn't matter what you're doing in the Champions League, mate. What are you doing in the league? Yeah, you're doing that in the Champions League. Cool, that's great. We expect that anyway. Yeah, you're doing that in the Copa del Rey. Cool, we expect that anyway. What are you doing in the league? It don't matter that you won it last year. What are you doing now? Yeah, and unfortunately, this loser mentality is only in England. And that's why I like watching these Spanish teams. They know how to protest. They know how to get owners out the clubs. They know how to stick it on the players. They know how to stick it on the manager. Yeah, and I love all of that. Like, this is what it's about. Yeah, without fans, there's no football. It's as simple as that. There's no football clubs. The football clubs would fold because they wouldn't have any income. Nobody would be watching it. So I do think that the fans should be making their football clubs more accountable, especially in England, because there's such a loser culture, a loser mentality. Oh, don't matter, we're overachieving. Oh, nobody expected us to be there. Well, let me tell you something right now. I expect Arsenal Football Club to challenge for a title every season. Ain't my fault nobody else does. Yeah? Ain't my fault nobody else does. Real Madrid expect to compete for every single trophy. And if they don't, the manager's sacked. That's what I'm saying. If Ancelotti wins the Champions League, he'll have to beat Man City in the process. And then if he wins the Copa del Rey tonight, he's still going to be sacked because he didn't win the league. Yeah, it's embarrassing for Madrid to allow Barca to run off with a title that easily. Yeah, and listen, I do think tonight he will win. I do think he will beat Osasuna. Like I said, they don't score many goals. Yeah, Real Madrid, big game under the lights. It's a later kickoff than normal. Normally they kick off games at 9 o'clock here, Spanish time. Tonight it's kicking off at 10 o'clock. So, yeah, it's a bit of a later one. But cometh the hour, Benzema a step up, Modric a step up, Vinny Jr. will have a game of his life again. Every time I watch that kid, he gets better, man. What a player. Yeah, and no doubt they'll go and wipe the floor with Osasuna about 3 or 4-0 tonight. Madristas will be partying and celebrating. But then tomorrow, they'll put that trophy in the cupboard. Right, that's that done. Now we've got to beat Man City on Tuesday. They won't be out having street parties over a Copa del Rey. Whereas in England, they'll be having street parties over that cup, that basically the FA Cup. Yeah, which is cool. I get that. But you have to go and win the Champions League, especially if you're Real Madrid, the kings of Europe. So, listen, good luck to Madrid tonight. I do think they'll win it. I want them to win it as well. I like Don Carlo. That's not the reason I want them to win it, but I want them to win it because they are elite with their fans. Their fan base are mad. Yeah, and that's why I like it, because they keep the standards high. Yeah, Florentino Perez keeps the standards high. The fans keep the standards high. The players enjoy being booed. Yeah, because I remember Sergio Ramos saying this. It tells us that we've dropped the standards. Now we have to get better. Yeah, Marcelo said the same. Yeah, you know, you boo a player in England. Oh, you're so toxic. You're so negative. Get in the bin. Yeah, the game is about winning. And if you ain't winning, you deserve the sack. It's as simple as that. None of this rubbish that geezer came out with the other day about there's no failure in sport. Yeah, don't listen to Martin Keown saying your failure is success. And Sky Sports dramatising failure as success about the big six. And, oh, look at what Brighton are doing. Brighton haven't won a trophy for 100-odd years. They're doing nothing. The game is about winning the major honour. And tonight, Real Madrid will do that. I think that's going to be fairly comfortable. I'm looking forward to the game. I'm going to predict a 4-0 victory. But listen, you never know. You never know. And this is what I like about the Spanish Copa del Rey, because the the smaller teams, they do have a go. Osasuna are 10th in the league. They're in the final. Last year, Real Betis won it against Valencia, and Valencia are about to get relegated. The year before, I think Sevilla were in the final. Athletic Bilbao have been in 2 finals in the last 5 years. Alaves have been in a final. Yeah, and this is why when teams in England turn their nose up at these cups, shambolic. Yeah, because these teams in Spain know they haven't got the money to compete with Real Madrid, Barca, and Atleti, so they have a go at the cup competitions. They have a go in Europe if they get into Europe. Villarreal are flying again. They're 5th in the league. You know, Real Sociedad are up there. You know, so yeah, I do like the Spanish league, man. And I do like the fact that the smaller teams have a go in the cups. Something the English should be learning from. But anyway, let me know your thoughts on all of that. Give me your score predictions for the Madrid-Osasuna game tonight. I'm saying 4-0. Big Benzema will step up again. He'll get a brace or a hat-trick tonight for me. Vinny Jr. will do it again as always. And yeah, man, let me know your thoughts and feelings on that. I'm off to the beach to top up my lobster tan. We're out of here. Ciao.